Okay.
So for those that knew Courtney and I, certainly they knew the we've been together for 20 years. We're extraordinarily close. We have no children, and we really lived our life for each other. We were uh, centered on each other. We had an incredible relationship that you know certainly was the entire focus of my life, and my entire focus was her. Certainly, and I would even think about it. There was almost a selfishness to us. We were in love. We had our own life. We were doing exactly what we wanted to do. We worked hard. We traveled. So earlier this summer, and actually earlier this year, we had started with the idea of moving somewhere else. Moving to Texas was ultimately what we decided on doing, and we went to we found a home in Fredericksburg, Texas. We had spent all summer kind of going through the process, house hunting. We landed on a home that we purchased and closed on in late September. We had resolved to move down there the second week of October. So lots of preparation, lots of planning. My we left with me driving a U-Haul with my car, one of my cars on the back. My wife was driving her car. We had our two cats in tow with us. Neither of them were good at all with traveling. We were trying to sedate them. It was very challenging 5-day drive on the way down there. My wife was fighting allergies on the way down, so and sleepiness, and was countering her sleepiness and taking Benadryl for allergies with no dose. So it was a very stressful kind of 5-day trip. But we arrived on Wednesday, October, I guess it would be 15th. We backed into our new home. I spent the next hour and a half unloading the U-Haul. We were excited. We had just landed there. Um, you know, Effectively got the boxes into the house, and then said, well, now let's go to Walmart. We're going to pick up all the things normally that anybody would need for that first, getting into a brand new house. We're like college kids, right? This is a new adventure, new home. Kept our home in Portland, or in Oregon, but we were gonna go down there. Uh, Arrived at Walmart. We were picking up all of our necessities. Each of us had a cart, and went around filling everything up, cleaning supplies, food, you name it. As we were kind of meeting up again, finishing up our shopping, my wife was all of a sudden started complaining of being dizzy and, you know, getting lightheaded, and, her vision was getting blurry. And so I sat her down at kind of like help support her, and took her over. We were next to the pharmacy. There was a bench there, sat her down at the bench. I ran to get her like a soda and a Snickers bar, thinking maybe she had low blood sugar. She hadn't eaten that much. We were exhausted. As we're sitting there, she wasn't articulating very well. I started becoming even more nervous. I talked to the pharmacist. She said, "Hey, you ought to just take her straight to the hospital, 7 minutes away." So I did. They got a little cart. I put her in the car, went to the hospital, got her through the emergency room. Immediately, pretty within 10 minutes, she was in there doing neurological exams. She still couldn't walk well. She was dizzy, etc. Now, mind you, my wife she had no pre-existing conditions. She's an otherwise healthy 44-year-old woman. Walked regularly with exercise, and and she had largely passed these neurological tests, but the doctors wanted to keep her overnight for so that they were going to keep her there so she could do a CT scan overnight. Was when they could schedule, observe her, and then she was going to get a MRI the next morning. So we had every expectation and reason that she would just, okay, you're going to stay here for the night. I'm made the decision, honey, I'm going to go pick up a few of those things not everything that we need for the house. She was cold, we weren't planning on being there, so I was going to put together some socks for her and a blanket and all these things. So I did. I went, I took care of our cats, did these other errands, packed up a bag for her, some snacks, all the stuff she'd need to get through the night and the morning. As I arrived back at the hospital, this was, we had exchanged a couple texts, right, within that prior hour. As I was walking in, I had missed a call within the last minute as I was parking from the hospital, saying that my wife had started seizing, and that she had been moved up to the ICU. And I was escorted up there to find my wife being wheeled to a CT again while she was seizing or convulsing. Fast forward, I spent the next 6 or so hours waiting with her as they were trying to get her into a bed at San Antonio's neuro ICU. About 4 a.m, she was life flighted to San Antonio. I came followed by car within a couple of hours. She stayed. She was at the hospital across the course of the day. Her father came in. Her parents came in. By the following evening, they finally had the results of the MRI and told us that she had suffered a massive stroke to, I guess, the basal, I think they call it the basal artery, and that feeds your brainstem, and that it was devastating, and that she was gonna maybe have basically no chance, low single digits, that she would ever have any sort of ability to attain anything close to consciousness or awareness again. Friday, I had to make the decision to remove her from life support. I was left stranded in Texas with a wife that just passed away suddenly, a home that we just bought that we had never even slept in, boxes not yet unpacked, 2 cats that are terrorized, not knowing where the heck they are, and just lost the entire focus of my entire world over the course of a day. So I'm 2.5 weeks now removed from it, back in Oregon. I felt I had to retreat back here to friends and support system, and have some chance at putting our affairs in order, without being stuck in Texas trying to sort it all out from afar. So that's the story. That's where I am now, and I'm trying to figure out how to move forward, with all, really my entire life has just been like smashed to pieces, for lack of a better way to describe it. So, and I'm looking for, how do I cope?